Hi everybody. So we are going to do, well, I'm going to give you guys a live update on my thoughts and things that have happened since the last update about Gannon. Okay. Just so I'm just going to say that I'm doing this on my Facebook Live, so if you're watching on YouTube and it looks like I'm, distracted or something like that, it's because I'm doing this live on Facebook, and then I'll share the video to YouTube. So I don't want to waste any time because I have appointments that I have to attend to. So the first thing, and I'm trying, you guys, because you know I am a free spirit, so it's hard for me to follow, you know what I mean? Some sort of, not schedule, well, that's too, but I'm saying it's hard for me to just stick to, one thing after another. Hi, thank you. All right, so as far as what happened and the things that evolved, the other thing I'd like to say is that when there's even a small amount of attention, especially emotionally charged attention at a situation, at a missing persons case, at whatever, okay? And I don't know about everybody else, but for me, because I'm empathic, there's a lot of different things going on. I have to cut through all that stuff, the emotion, number one, to get to the heart of the matter. And then number two, also, I pick up on people's thoughts. There's a lot of different elements that go into it. So when there's a lot of attention in a certain area and everybody's, theorizing and speculating about what could or could have not happened, it's difficult to explain, but it's like, I don't know, if somebody's, like when they do 52 card pickup and you're looking for the 10 of hearts, or the 10 of diamonds, I should say, all right? You're like, oh, Lord, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not even in order. All right? But that type of thing. So it's not as simple as just tuning in. And it doesn't mean that it's never that simple, because there are periods. But these are patterns I've noticed over years of doing this, okay? So first of all, Gannon. Let's see what happened. Okay. And I see a lot of people talking about the carpet, various different things. So instead of being subjective in that sense, I will give you like an overview of what happened, at least the way that I'm seeing it, okay? And a couple of different, also, because you guys know I'm very logical and very analytical, and, a bulldog in heels type person. The video that the stepmother, T, put out with Gannon, okay? My sister's watching? Or is it Kyla? I see you. So, it's quite clear that video was not taken by accident. You want to know why I know? Very simple. And it doesn't even need my intuitive knowledge or reason to get to. You clearly see that when she's walking through the room by the little girl says, "What happened?" Okay? She was coming from somewhere, right? Okay. So she's coming from somewhere, and she walks by the little girl. She walks to the living room, and now, by golly, just coincidentally, out goes the video portion. You can't see anything, but you can hear. That's the first thing. The second thing is, she clearly went to go get her phone or get something, because she said to Gannon, "I'm not going to ask you again." Why? How many times did you ask him prior to this? Do you get what I'm saying? So she must have gone to get her phone. That's my feeling. That's the intuitive reason behind it, okay? So that tells me that what transpired between the incident, whatever he did to piss her off, and her getting the phone, that something transpired that says that she needs to cover her ass in some kind of way, all right? In some kind of way, whether she's going to try to manipulate the situation with the father or I don't exactly know. And I don't think she definitely knew so much either. In other words, it wasn't like, oh, here, I'm not this is not speaking directly about Gannon, but you know, here, oh, I just stabbed you in the back and I know you're going to die in 5 seconds. So here, record this video real quick type feeling. It's more like, oh shit, like this is going to come back at me somehow, isn't it? Okay. And not knowing at that time how bad it was. So something happened. All right. Something with glass. This is the feeling I get, and I can't get around it, so I'm just going to go with it. All right, I get the feeling that he did something that would be considered, so, all right, let's use the candle thing. So say the candle, you know, he lit a candle and spilt it over by accident. Number one, clearly she was in the living room. How do we know? TMZ was in the background talking about Kobe. You get what I'm saying? So we know that for a fact. That's the first thing. Well, I know it for a fact, but anyway, so that's the first thing. So the candle, and I've seen other, I don't exactly know, but I'm thinking that if it's carpeting, it's most likely in the living room, right? Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, I'm sorry. So if it had been the candle, let's say, okay, it's that feeling of, oh, is he trying to kill us? Is he going to try, like purposely trying to hurt us? Feeling. And that's not saying that it was the candle. So being that I pick up, it's definitely something glass. It also could be construed as like, if he threw a glass at her, all right? Or near her. So, and she didn't know, let's say if he was trying to hurt her or if, you know, something happened by accident. But that type of feeling, okay? Because the feeling also is something you ever have, and I'll use this as an example, and hopefully one day maybe he'd see it, but I used to babysit a lot when I was in high school for this woman, and she's actually on my friends list, so she may actually see this, but for her son, her name's Kim, and he called me the C word one day, okay? I was 17. I was so shocked because back then, this is, you know, I'm the F-bomb dropping mother now, but back then, right before I had my first daughter, I was nothing like that. I was so mortified. And at the same time, he bit my ankle, okay? I automatically slapped him. Boom! You know, like if something came and bit you, a mosquito, but like an animal. And not because I was trying to hurt him, but because it was just an automatic reaction, like boom. Well, the same type of thing, but fueled with rage for her. And not necessarily to him, not necessarily sourced from Gannon or Gannon's ex. But it came out on him, okay? I feel like she hit him on this side. And I also feel pain over here, but I think that's from something different. But this side, I feel like she just is like, what's wrong with you? Because I can see with the ear. And then I think and again, I don't know if this is because I don't want to know that, or I don't want to know that somebody would actually do something like this. Sorry about that. I hooked up my phone instead of using the laptop type thing. So when you're a reader and you can tune into those things, you almost feel complicit. And I don't know how it is for other readers, but almost like you're a part of it or allowing it because it's so, it's difficult to explain. Also because I want so badly for this not to be true for him and for his, you know, mother to never have had to go through this in the first place, if that makes sense. All right. So a lot of the things you have to cut through your own type of stuff so that you can give a non-emotionally charged reading. Okay. So I think that she kicked him several times, right near the ribs. I feel like he was on the floor and he also turned. So I feel like he got hit in the bum area too, or something to do with that. Okay. To the point where I think that there'll be a footprint or something like that. There's a new video release that shows all of what? Cindy Albertson. Hit me up to the fact. What is it? Shows all of what? Anyway, so, and I'll keep going. So this is the thing. T has built up years and years of resentment, okay? Years and years and years of resentment of not feeling like she was good enough. She wouldn't tell you that, but I'm telling you that's what it is. There's history of abuse in that family, and lots of other, I'm pretty sure there's alcoholism in that family, and also something to do with men and choices in men, I'll say. If there is a video, yeah, I know she's asking if there's a video of what. I'll get to that, Cindy. Let me stay in order so we can keep on track, because I have to cook the fixings for a turkey dinner. But he's cooking the turkey. A lot of people ask if there was anyone else involved. When the very first video I did, and again, don't forget that I've had time now to cut through a lot of the emotionally charged stuff and everybody else's thoughts or what they're putting out there, let's say. So in the first video, I thought to myself, or it felt like the stepsister, Harley, had something to do with it, okay? But it came through to me as that she did something and the mother was trying to cover up for it. But now that I've had time to think about all of this, and I don't know if it's because of the flagrant nature of that T puts out with this stuff, you know, but I wouldn't put it past her to try to blame her in some way. Does this make sense? Okay, but that's the way I'm feeling, so that's where we're going to go with this. So I'm not exactly positive, but I do feel like the stepsister knows something. And there's a lot of things, you know, with these cases, I'm trying not to tune into anything, not to look for too much information before that initial live that I did, okay? In this case, the person who asked me to do it sent me, what she did was, I said, you know, I really don't want to do that. I felt funny doing it with Gannon, especially because he's so young, and I'm like, I didn't know about the legal aspect of it. I'm like, is it okay? Is it not okay? You know, to discuss these things type thing. So I think somebody, I don't know if it was her, sent me the link to Landon's account, and I said, no. I said, I'm absolutely not going to bother her about this. So I said to myself, what other way can I do it? And she had sent me the group link. So I went into the group, and what I was going to do was hit up an admin about it to see what they thought about doing a live. Anyway, so somebody ended up posting a tarot reading, I think it was, or something, and I said, oh, I'm so glad you did that. The point being is I've had time to sit with this, all right? I just watched the video of T's interview where Harley was on it. There's so many things, so much there, especially analytically and logically, fueled by the intuitive reasoning behind it. If she doesn't know exactly what it is, she knows something. I'm telling you, she knows something. The other thing that baffles me is the Marshall's trip. Not because it's just so odd to me. And I was just talking to my boyfriend about this. I said, because I had shown him her picture maybe a week and a half ago or something like that. And because he's, you know, empathic as well. And he didn't get the feel. He's like, no, she doesn't look basically like she wouldn't be out to get somebody. And he's pretty good at reading people as well. So I had time to think about his statements too. Like, am I, you know, is this a reach? Is this because, you know, they're looking to vilify somebody? And this is the thing. People who have hearts, especially ones that are empathic and can pick up other people's feelings and thoughts and things, okay? It's very hard, number one, for you to imagine that anybody else does something, how do I say it, any other way than you do it, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, there's an assumption that everybody else has a heart too, okay? That everybody else has a heart too. There are some that feel to me, and especially after this case, they don't have, it's like a birth defect. but like a spiritual defect in some way. They don't have it. So I think when they don't have it, it's very hard to pick up those cues because they don't have guilt for the act. They feel pity for themselves if they get caught. Okay, that's the thing. So it's a different type of thing, but it's very secular. So it's hard to get a good read. Okay. All right. So that's the first thing. Let's see. So basically, the husband wanted to leave her. I'm pretty sure he did, and shit was going south. And he's the way that I pick up things I pick up on him, or he's very matter of fact. So, in other words, when he gets to that point, he's like, "Listen, I don't think this is gonna work. Like, you got to figure something out. Like, I don't know what's gonna be done." And he wasn't subject to her manipulation anymore. All right, and so she felt the loss of control, and she blames, a lot of things on having to take care of the kids. This is the other thing too. All right, because I've been thinking about this. I'm going to address this right here. By the way, Letitia, I know you're on my YouTube thing because they told me, so you're an amateur. That's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, she thoroughly enjoys taking or making someone feel as if they're less than because she has low self-worth, big time. And there's a lot of things that are behind that. But guess what? You're an adult now, and when you're an adult, you're responsible for your actions, and you can't blame things on things. Well, you can blame things on other things, but it's not going to get you anywhere, and it's going to get you in a heap of trouble if you continue to allow it to fester inside you, okay? That's the first thing. Hold on. Okay, so they're just telling me stuff. So once she saw, Letitia, once she saw how hurt Gannon was and that this would not be some sort of easy fix. And I still don't get the feeling it's like, oh God, he's going to, things are so bad that it's going to be death. No, that's not what I meant. An easy fix meaning that my husband already doesn't want to be with me, okay? That's the first thing. What are people going to think of that? Now, had she chosen to leave him, that's totally different. However, I feel like it's the opposite way, all right? I feel like he's just sick of her shit type thing. Like, it's all cutesy, but, when people lie about everything for no friggin' reason at all, like, whether it's to manipulate or to look in like, he's not dumb. He's just very quiet, okay? He's just very quiet and very matter of fact, and she knows how he is. He doesn't like something, he doesn't like something. I like steak and potatoes. Can't we just have steak and potatoes? Like, she's the more like, oh, you trying to, like, it type thing. And he's just sick of it. Anyway, so the thoughts go through her head, and I can hear them about not only what Albert's going to think, but now she doesn't have as much of a leg to stand on when it comes to pointing fingers at, and I'm going to say Landon only because of what I've witnessed, but whoever she can point fingers at to make herself look better, okay? And they're also telling me because, that's where I was going with this. Okay, so, Letitia, you talk about taking care of the kids and you've had to do this, that, the other. Okay, there's a few different points here. Landon was married to her husband. I don't know how the relationship was at that point in time. However, I feel like they were young. They were just getting it under control type thing. And adjusting to life with children type thing. All right. Here you come. All right. To see something that you think you want, that you tell yourself you want, and you target. Okay? Like you do everything else. Because if you can't buy it or get it yourself because it's taken, you will do everything in your power to make sure that you get it. And by use of manipulation, sexuality, whatever you have to do. Okay? That's the first thing. So, you target the husband. I'm pretty sure there was an affair, and I've read it somewhere, but the feeling is strong. And you slowly manipulate and move him away from Landon and those kids. And I don't blame him, you, for that. That's his choice. He's a big boy. Pull up those big boy drawers, and you know what I mean? You did what you did, but you and I'm not saying you guys didn't take responsibility, but I'm saying that piece, you know, he can own that, and he does. All right? That's the first thing. So, you purposely set out to take something that was not really yours, and I'm not saying that it was anybody's, but I'm saying to take something that wasn't yours and manipulated, pushed buttons, told lies, and did other things to make sure that it happened. Okay? So this is essentially what you've done. You borrowed that energy. That's what you've done. You borrowed that energy. Okay? And I'm being nice by saying borrowed, because really you stole it. And there's so many different little things that go along with that. Okay? The children that are involved, things that and I won't touch upon it, that I feel that Landon made decisions made post that because of that situation. Okay? So, in a sense, you borrowed and now you've got to pay it back. So every last lick of driving you did to a school, band-aids you put on, clothes that you had to buy, things that you had to clean, okay? Whining you had to hear, phone calls you had to make, trips across the country, all of that is still not paid for. That's how I see it, okay? Now, not only that, when you feel the loss of control, you allow yourself to take a life, okay? And part of that, and I don't think that it was at forefront in her mind when she was kicking this kid and saying to herself, this is, you know, what I'm going to do to hurt them type thing. However, I think that I think that she thought, number one, that the doorbell cam wouldn't have come into play, okay? That's the first thing. So the doorbell cam. If that didn't happen, okay, I think that she assumes that her husband and her would become closer because of this, okay? I can hear it in her head. She, based on what she thinks Landon would or would not do, okay, you know, that it would, if Landon was affected by the breakup of a marriage and made certain decisions, what kind of decisions would she most likely make if this something like this was going on? Okay, so that's the first thing. She's extremely jealous. It's almost sickening. Okay. Oh, and I hear her plotting. All right. So that's the first thing. How many times have I said that's the first thing? Okay, so I feel like there were injuries to him. I'm not fully convinced that they were fatal injuries, the kicking. Okay, and I've been consulting with other psychics and mediums too, and one made a good point that he probably tried to, and I, you know, once they tell me that, my logical mind jumps in and wants to either fit it in or make it fit, or do you get what I'm saying? So I'm just going to go with this, and it was Heather. She said he probably tried to run from her. Okay, and that's how the blood went from the garage to the gate, and I'm like, geez, that makes a lot of sense type thing, all right? That's the first thing. Hold on. The other thing I want to bring up, and you know, I might be jumping around a little bit much, but hopefully you guys can follow along, is that my 3-year-old gave me basically gave a reading in my car the other day while driving to my parents' house, which is about an hour. Yeah, it's rage. About an hour. So, and I actually videotaped it, but I still feel funny about putting it out, even though you can't see it. You can see me and hear her and behind me. But number one, she said, and I think it was Latika. I can't remember. I'd have to look at the notes that I sent to Heather. But she told me, I said, Jane, and this is why I asked her, because the other day she said to me, I said, Jane, do you remember Uncle Melvin? My brother died before she was born. Yes, she says. I said, you do? I said, where does he live? She said, in the sky. I'm like, oh my God. And there was other things that she said, and I won't get into that. But, so I asked her, I said, Jane, I said, Gannon's mommy's sad because she can't find him. I said, do you know where he is? And she said, yeah, in the sky. She said it again. I'm like, okay. I said, well, how did he get there? And I might be jumping around and I don't have, the transcript in front of me, but I know there was key points in there and we'll get those correct. She said he was in the forest. She called it the forest maybe twice, and she referred to it as woods at another point in time. He's in the forest. I said, oh, he is? She said, yeah. I said, well, how did he get there? He got in trouble, she said. I said, oh, he did? Oh, I said, oh, boy. I said, what did he get in trouble that he would be brought? I didn't say be brought. What did he get to? What did he do to get him in trouble, or that much in trouble, or something like that? She said, he touched the dark-haired mummy's stuff. That's what she's calling it, the dark-haired mummy. Touched the dark-haired mummy stuff. I'm like, oh no. So what did she do? She said she spanked him. I'm like, she did? I'm like, that's terrible. I said, where did she spank him? She said the leg and the butt is what she said. And something in my mind told me to ask her. I said, well, did she spank him with her hand? And she said, no. She said her foot. I'm like, this kid. So she said her foot. What else did she say? She told me that he pooped himself, which I don't know why it stands out to me because I keep thinking about it. Anyway, she said he pooped himself. What else did she said, when I said who, she said about the dark-haired mummy or whatever. I said, so what was the person's name who hurt Gannon? This kid says, Latika. And you can see me, that's the one piece I might post of the video because you can see me. I've got the camera on the, like the dash holder. And I'm like, Latisha, like that. And I'm like, oh, and then you hear me asking more questions after it, like, oh my God, this kid. So Jane said he's wrapped in a blanket, and she said a rainbow blanket. And I'm only saying this, the rainbow part specifically because I don't necessarily pick up that it's rainbow, but somebody else told me something about rainbows in my travels working on this case, something about rainbows. So she said a rainbow blanket, but she also said he had an LOL doll with him, which God only knows what she's interpreting as an LOL doll, but she loves them. So I don't know if there's something with him and that's what she's interpreting it as. But anyway, I said, Jane, is Gannon's body covered with dirt? She said, no. I said, is Gannon's body covered with snow? She said, yes. All right. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that she brought up that was a key point. Let's just keep going, and if it comes up, I'll tell you. And like I said, I don't know if the injuries at that point were bad enough to warrant, like, oh my God, it's, it's so bad. I have what are my choices? I go to, the hospital and they arrest me, or I get rid of his body, because either way, that's the way it's going to go. That's not what I feel. I feel like the opposite type thing, where she did this and he was really, really hurt and he's really, really going to need attention. So there's really, really got to be a hospital trip, one way or the other. Yeah, I said white comforter. That's what I picked up a blanket, and I have a white comforter, and a Nautica one that's really soft, and I don't know why I'm saying about the soft, but that's sticking out to me. So I don't know if it's the material or if it's color, but that's what I feel. Anyway, oh, comforter, duh. I didn't even think of that at the time. So you get what I mean. And I asked earlier in one of the groups if the husband had military plates, and I'll tell you why. Because I keep getting the feeling because people talk about why did she use the truck and blah, 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 and it's for 4-wheel drive, and that's entirely possible. But I feel like it was because it was less suspicious, if that makes sense. And not because, oh, I'm going to go on a base somewhere. No. I don't know what about it makes it less suspicious, but I don't know if that type of truck, I don't know. You know, and that's why I said about the military plate or something. I'm like, well, I guess it'd be less suspicious if you saw somebody pulled over on the side of a road and they had military plates. Don't ask me why, but that's the feeling I get. So that's what I'm going with on that. I'm picking up more than one location, literally and figuratively. So I feel like there's more than 2 crime scenes besides the house. All right. Whether she threw stuff one place and put the body another, or if there's more pieces than that. Oh, they're telling me there's 2 places that have evidence. 2 places with evidence, 1 with a body. All right. And also there's a funny feeling about like, let me go over the 2 places first and then you'll understand. So, No Road, which is right, and I'm bad with spatial stuff. I still turn on the wrong burner. No Road is behind, like Spruce Mountain type thing. All right, so between 105 and Spruce Mountain Road or something like that. There's a high. Is it a blanket with pastel colors, like a fleece? It could be. And then the white blanket I saw could have been the snow. I didn't even think of that. I don't know. Anyway. No Road, Noe Road. All right, and I will post photos. I actually do have a thread going with the photos already on it of what drew me in. And you know what else drew me into? And this just happened today, is somebody posted in one of the threads, and I read a lot. When I'm into something and I can't stop thinking about it, like if you guys understood, my boyfriend's always laughing because I'm like, hey, I want you to look at this video. I'm like, our TV has the best pixelation. I'm like, let me throw it up on there because you can take your phone and send it to there. He just laughs at me. And then I'll want to do it like, you know, the best quality. Then I slow it down to 0.25. So I'm crazy with certain things. So one of the areas on the No Road when I went into the satellite actually is shaped like a heart. Somebody posted in one of the Where is Gannon groups today, with a Garden of the God, or they said it was Garden of the Gods or something, and somebody said, no, it's not even around here, it's somewhere else. But it was a stone formation that had a heart. It was like 2 pillars, and then it was a heart in the middle, all right? And it was the very first thing that popped up on the feed when I opened my phone. I'm like, oh, it kind of took me back because of the comment Heather made about this area on No Road, that when you look down, it looks like a heart, and it's got rocks in it, all right? And also something about the photo that I most associate Gannon with the heart on it, all right? And there's 2 areas in that No Road thing that draw me in. So that area. Also, there's in Castle Rock, it's around the Elbert Street area. For some reason, that draws me in. And it would feel to me like there's 2 different locations. Like if you look at this Elbert Street area, because people are like, oh, she could only make it so long. It's a straight shot from Petco, literally. So it's a straight shot from Petco, okay? The area that I'm talking about, you go over an overpass and you can see down, okay? Because there's a decline, all right? There's like a shopping thing right here, and there's a decline. And there's all these creeks, and I think there's a walking trail too. And it looks like, and there's also drainage underneath those overpasses type thing. So literally, she would have drove down, is it, great, you guys, is it 25? What the hell's over there? Whatever highway it is, literally, there, you bang a left, okay, another left, and you can get to that area. So it just seemed easy. In other words, I thought to myself, okay, if I were her, which would never happen, and I was driving and I was nervous about what I was going to do, okay, where would I go type thing, all right? And there's other pieces to it, you know, coincidental things that I put together. But anyway, you would drive right over it and be able to see how to get off and get there. Do you see what I'm saying? And they were behind it, like when you pull into you'd have to look at it. But when you pull into it, there's a lot of what do you call it? Like construction type stuff going on. Areas, you know, places where they would meet type thing to work. You'd have to look at it to see what I'm saying. So those two areas draw me in. So I don't know if she was spooked at one place because something happened and she said, oh, to hell with this, and hightailed it and got back on the highway and went. Or if, you know, brought Gannon to this Elbert Street area and then dropped stuff off on the way back. Or if she freaked out, because I keep getting this feeling. Somebody said about something having an Apple Watch. I don't know how it works. My mother has one, of all things. She's in her 70s. I don't know. It must ring, right? Because why would it be it's an Apple Watch, but you must be able to talk to people because that's the point. So I don't know if she actually left her phone somewhere or not, but this is the feeling it gives me. As if, like, okay, say, and this is a theory and it's pure speculation because there's nothing been proven about anything, but say she dropped her phone off somewhere, okay, and left it there. Forgot about the watch because she's so heavily mentally involved in her own bullshit and doing this, you know, whatever she's going to do. And then all of a sudden say she gets off the highway, goes down 105, and all of a sudden hits that area where they first searched, and it rings. Or a text message goes off, and she's like, oh, shit. That's the feeling it gives me, all right? So whether, you know, it's the first scenario where she dropped him off and then dropped evidence, got to where they were searching and dropped evidence, or if it's a totally two other places or three other places, that's the feeling I get, all right? Hey, T, can you confirm? Hi, there's my other sister. What is this, a reunion? You're all here. All right, so, let's see. I feel like, remember there was a photo going around of the red truck, and it was debunked? And people were like, oh, I can't believe people do that. Yeah, but the very first thought I had, because I kept thinking, like, I don't know. I can tell by the way I go at it. I can tell, like, when I'm like, when I see something, I'm like, I got to look into this. So I look into it, but my attention will be pulled over here or over here. Like, so things like that sometimes, not every time, it's a case-by-case basis, are designed to prime and to prompt people to check their dash cams. Do you see what I'm saying? Or tell a story to somebody who works with them who happens to, you know, live 30 miles away or whatever, and that's right in the area they're searching, to check those type of things. Like, oh, maybe I should do that type thing. I think that there's a lot more camera action, that she's on a lot more camera stuff than she thinks she is, all right? And they're also telling me that was the purpose of getting off the highway. So I still think that she got spooked somehow and went somewhere else. That's the feeling it gives me, all right? Also, the backpack I brought up in the first video, and everyone thought he didn't have anything because that's what was reported at the time. Well, now we know there was a backpack. Heather brought up a good point that had he been sick, throwing up because of whatever injury it was, or like Jane said about the pooping himself type thing, that it's possibly soiled clothing that she took to dispose of, okay? Because it didn't fit her narrative, all right? Let's see. Okay, so let me get to, I see you guys asking questions, but I want to get all of this out first. But I think that no road area should definitely be checked. Oh, the other thing that Heather brought up, because her and I messaged back and forth, and I walked her through tuning into it as well. She says that it's very obvious that there's a lump there. So, in other words, even if you walked into the forest and it's been snowing, it looks like there's something there, all right? What they could have been looking for. Okay, but I don't know if it's that detailed to go into it, like the SIM card thing. It gives me more the feeling like what I said, like, oh shit, I don't really, like going to do something and having the watch on and suddenly pulling off the highway because you don't want to be caught by the rest of the cameras, because you get what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you get to that point at Sierra Pines Lane and it rings and you're like, oh shit, type thing. All right? So maybe it pinged there. You see what I mean? In that area. And there may be more to it, but that's the feeling it gives me. What they were looking for. Hold on. I feel like somebody caught her, or there was a tip or something, or a camera or some type of thing that saw her pulled over on the side of the road over there. So they're looking for whatever the hell they can find. All right? That's what they're doing. As far as Gannon being sick, or drugged looking when he was walking out to the truck. And I entertain, once I tune into it and I pick up what I pick up, I think about all those avenues and feel the wiggle room if it fits energetically. If I feel like 65, 70% positive in whatever direction, it becomes more solid feeling, or more tight, I should say, the closer it gets to 100%. All right, so I can feel the wiggle room. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me just scroll up real quick because I think. No, there's nothing in Garden of the Gods. Hi, guys. Hi, Alex. Alex, you could pipe in on this too. And it's funny you're here, buddy, because I haven't seen you on my lives. I'm not saying you haven't been, but you know how this works because you do what I do. And that I just caught that. And I'm like, oh, and I saw your name and I was going to say, I heard it in my head. I was going to say hi, Alex, but they told me to wait. So as I just forgot where I was scrolling back, and your comment was there, so I'm going to put that out there. But I had this thought about 2 or 3 days ago, like I should message Alex and see what he picks up, because he's from Australia. Hi guys. So hold on. What the hell was in the duffel bag? Yeah, so make sure you guys, when you guys post stuff and do things like that, think about those things, like the dash cam thing. Like when you repost things, repost it and be like, listen, check your dash cams. And I would open up the parameters, even though I know we saw her on video at 10:15. I'd be like, listen, from 10 to 2:15, 2:30. Okay, so let's keep going. So as far as the law enforcement thing goes, this is the thing. They don't want another Casey Anthony thing happening. They don't want any wiggle room type thing. So they are literally exhausting everything. There's also some pushing and pulling of buttons to hot, cold. I don't want to say too much. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold type stuff going on in order to induce some things to happen. All right? So that's part of the reason for the not saying anything, and for the brevity of things. Like, oh, look, we're not searching anymore here. But if you pay attention, number one, they said, suspending the search in Douglas County and the area is already searched was the first thing I noticed. However, things like that, those abrupt, like, type thing, that's designed to shock a system. I also think that there's some correlation between where they were last searching and the fact that I've seen in the group where people are like, oh my God, she's been quiet for da-da-da-da-da. So whether it doesn't, that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, she's in custody, or, oh, that's exactly where he is, or, oh, whatever. That means that there's a correlation somehow, okay? You get what I mean? Between that point in time, and it just, in what I do, it never just so happens to be. So there's a correlation there, all right? Whether they're getting closer, Whether she's getting more nervous about that type of stuff, that's the feeling I get. Yeah, I know what they do. Girl, Ashley, tell people all the time, I have this client that actually dates cops for a living. Just kidding, I hope you're not here. Don't announce yourself. She'd laugh so hard. But anyway, throughout the personal readings, I've told her, I said, they are trained to pick up certain cues for certain things. So a lot of those things are training their brain to do what I do in a sense. The intuitive reasoning. How does it feel to you? All right? So they know what they're doing. 2.5 waiter. Oh my God, you don't even know. I just said this morning, Cindy. I'm like, you don't understand. I said, I do missing person cases for free. I'm like, maybe I can win the lottery and then I can just fly all over the place to do these things. Because when I really get involved in something, I don't play. Like, I want to drive there and go, like, show them where it is type thing. All right? Gannon also brought up something about being in people's dreams, and I thought he meant his mom, and there was a question about if that's really him or not. He was trying to tell her something. The answer is yes, but also somebody, I think her name was Cindy. Maybe that prompted me, but it wasn't that Cindy. It was a different Cindy. Is that her name? I think so. Anyway, so right after these thoughts I was driving again from down near my parents' house, and I happened to get the alert on my phone, so of course I picked up and saw it. And she said that she had a dream about him. It just happened to be at the same time. But a lot of things with spirit, there's these symbolic and connected loops of meaning type thing, okay? No, Garden of the Gods, I don't think there's anything there. No. That would be hood dumb is what she thinks. Like hood dumb. All right? She thinks she's like smart. She's the type that would do something like, oh, he went to Jimmy's house and put a body near Jimmy Creek because she's an asshole. But the other thing I wanted to point out is that she's a bit stuck because of the doorbell cam now, isn't she? Okay? Now imagine the doorbell cam thing never came into play. All right? Wait a minute, that's not how I want to go about it. She backed herself into a corner because she texted people from Gannon's phone after the doorbell cam came back. Do you get what I'm saying? Like in between the time that she came home, 2:15-ish, all right? And the time that she said that he disappeared, or however she said it, at 3:15, I'm pretty sure that I read, and I do feel like that's true, that there were text messages made, all right? Also, Heather brought up a point about, and I don't know if this has been shown, but did the husband call to check on Gannon or text to check on Gannon during those hours? And not so much 10:15 because she would have answered at Petco, but more around lunchtime-ish type thing. Okay? I'm only asking, and I don't need an answer to help with the timeline. This would have been right after she left him where she left him. So I'm, like I said, an analytical, logical mind. So as soon as I knew about the Petco thing, I started calculating exactly how far she could have gone in any one direction. All right? But again, I kept hearing the number 12. I feel like it's a time frame. I feel like that's around the time that she dropped him somewhere. All right? It didn't take her very long to do what she did. Did she have gloves? I just saw her wearing gloves. Anybody know about this? Black ones? She got black gloves on, which is odd because I feel like it was too warm for those. Because at first I see black gloves, I'm like, well, it is Colorado, probably cold. But then I thought, then they're telling me, they're like, remember, it was warm. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, and it was high noon. Why the hell would you wear gloves? An elbow-shaped road with a lake or a pond. Yeah, but that's the thing. When you do what I do, sometimes, and this hit me with a different missing persons case with distances and stuff. Because I'm like, why does it feel like it's like this? All right. Lake or pond, Palmer Lake. Hold on, you guys. If you're on YouTube, there's nothing I can do because I'm reposting this. And all right, wait. Hold on. Mention which and that is actually on 105. Maybe keep going out. You bump it now. Okay, so you were exactly. See, this is why I love what I do, you guys. Emisael. I'm trying like Ishmael, but Emisael. I was just going to say, I noticed patterns, and I noticed from other readings that I've done on missing persons that, because I would think like, oh, it's like, literally, like if I was standing in front of this road and the water would be right here, but then when I looked from a map view, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. 2s and 4s on cards. Yeah, that does make sense for some reason, and I don't exactly know why, but let me write your name down and I'll get back to you on that, Ashley. But yeah, it does. I don't know if that's a road. 24. I feel like it's something to do with the road. All right. So where was I? Oh my God, you guys. So anyway, I noticed the same thing. And no NOE road also is that shape. All right. What else do we have to go over? All right, so the black gloves. You saw, that's what you're saying, yes, about Heather. I got a quick glimpse of those gloves. And they're weird because I don't know if they're leather, but it reminds me of back in the day, my mother used to get like isotoners and stuff, but she also had like leather ones. I don't know what's out there today because, you know, that was back in the day when we used to go to like Ann and Hope and Macy's was like a big deal because I'm old. 24 is a road out there. All right, let me write this down. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is did anybody, yeah, but no is, what do you mean? Yeah, but NOE is 74, but that doesn't mean there's not a reason that it's not connected. Is by where he lives? Okay. I got to look into it. But so it's my analytical and my logical mind always want to make sense of things. And to me, that's fine and dandy once I've made a solid connection and kind of anchored in the way it feels so that I can use that as a rubric or a measurement against the logical and analytical stuff, okay? What mineral? All right, slow down, you guys. Battery locations. What is a battery location? Oil field services is a battery location? Okay. I would see my head start spinning when you let me address this after the live, all right? Because again, like I said, my vibration slows down to the earthy, like solid type feeling. Like I want to go do 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 type thing. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else notice the bandages on her hands? And now I saw this when I first got in that group about the bandage things on the hand. I'm like, oh, I wonder, but I'd have to look into it. But then coincidentally, somebody took a still shot, I think, of her hands in that video with the Harley thing. With the Harley, okay? Did you guys see that too? Yep, that's true, Constance Lynette. All right, so you did see those, because I have that too. And I don't know how many people had direct contact with her right after this incident, okay? But the feeling I get, and I have sleeves that, you see how she wore those sleeves like that? I have sleeves like that too, but I love them and look for them. I don't see too many people wearing, I don't know how it is in Colorado, because I did see something about, oh, people use backpacks as purses all the time, this, that, and the other. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but why did she say you didn't have a backpack? Even though the whole narrative doesn't fit, but you get what I mean. Anyway, what the hell was I? I hate when I do that. Where was I, you guys? And those that I've read for before know I do this. It's like being on a merry-go-round when I do the straight intuitive stuff. Where was I? I hate when it does that. We'll roll back into it. We'll figure it out. So, oh, all right. They just reminded me. So, I think that I think that's because I think she strangled him or did something like that. And my apologies to Landon, to anybody that cares about this kid, but please understand too, I try to keep a non-emotional perspective, but that's not because I don't care or I'm non-emotional. It's because I absolutely care way more than, okay? And I'll tell you that little piece. My brother was murdered in 2012. For some reason, Gannon reminds me of my brother. There's so many things. There's that photo, that cheek to cheek with Landon. My mother has the same photo with my brother. He was on his way to Cub Scouts. And the thing that kills me is that I can tell, like, that you were the light of his life. Just like when I look at that photo with my brother and my mother, like, you can just see, you know, and I'll post it to this too, so you guys can see. But the other thing is, my brother's birthday is October 29th. Gannon's is September 29th. Gannon went missing on my little cousin, who's pretty much my brother. That was the second death that I dealt with, and he only died last year. That was his birthday, was January 27th. So there's a lot of other things that connect for me there. Okay, so you understand what I would be saying, all right? Gloves, sleeves, and bandages on. She didn't have gloves. She had sleeves that have the hook that goes in the thumb. So this piece is covered, except for maybe like right here, all right? So I'm unsure of, because I think you'd wear gloves so things wouldn't happen, right? Or she remembered the gloves too late. Anyway, I don't want to get lost in this. I feel like it's due to rope burn. I feel like there's burn of some kind. So I don't know if it's burn, maybe the candle thing's true and it's that, but that's the feeling I get, and that's the way it comes through to me. And I keep seeing, what do you mean no black gloves? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I see her wearing gloves. In other words, I don't know if she said to herself, oh shit, maybe I should wear these gloves so I don't touch anything, okay? Maybe I shouldn't touch anything type thing. And then all of a sudden went for the gloves for other stuff. I don't know, but I feel like, because, well, this is the thing. My logical mind says, what, the black, okay. So they'd be in the father's truck, right? Okay. So my logical mind says, how would she get the rope burns if she had gloves on? So I've never done some heinous stuff like that, so I don't know. Wouldn't the police have seen that on her hands? Don't forget, there's some period of time before the video came out. You get what I'm saying? All right. Hobo hand sleeves are very popular in Colorado. Okay. So again, and that's the, you know, you want to always weigh what you pick up intuitively against what the environment at hand and reality. Okay, and see how it marries together so that we can get, we can build this mosaic, this picture, and get Gannon home. All right. But anyway, I just got this quick flash of the gloves. But again, like I said, that's my logical mind jumping in that wants to be the attorney, like, well, how did she get the burns on her hands then? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Yeah, they spoke with her before then, but she obviously, in other words, I'm not saying that she wouldn't normally wear that shirt, but it just so happens that she wore that shirt on that interview, right? Was that before the video came out? Was that like, I keep hearing 4 or 5, so that was like 4 or 5 days after or something? Anyway, it's just convenient that it covers that piece. You see what I mean? Did anybody see what she had on? And I'm throwing this out there because I'm not saying anybody out here. It could be law enforcement. And people always ask me, did you call the tip line? No, the F I didn't. They know what they're doing. If they want info, trust and believe, they're going to find that info. All right? And if they're trying to build a solid case and they want to make sure that they can seal that deal, they're going to find this. Or it's going to get into the proper ear to get the point across. But So why would working out, I just heard something about working out, like when she said she was working out in the basement, maybe that would help because she'd have workout clothes on. So I don't know what that is, but this is the thing. Did she change her clothes when she came home? Wait a minute. It was also said that she was seen putting a shovel into truck. Sorry, guys. My original plan was I thought I could use the camera on the thing so that, because it's a better quality. I can't read this because, oh, there we go. Could have put burns on her hands, but if he wasn't buried. Okay, I haven't seen confirmation she was putting shovel into a truck, but I did just read something new about the carpet being rolled up or the neighbors calling in on something, but I haven't had a chance to really look into it. I don't know, but I was going over this with Freedom with my boyfriend. I'm like, listen, because of course it boggles my mind because he's really good at picking up on how people are. That at first he was like, no, he didn't feel any threat from her, and I'm like, what are you talking about? But anyway, I showed him. Hold on. I showed him the video. Yesterday, actually. Remember I told you I keep going in the room? I went in there twice and then once again today. But I showed him the video, right? And that was yesterday, the first time I showed it to him. So today, when I was telling him about it, I said, I told him the facts. I said, well, the neighbor said, the neighbor had the video. The neighbor turned it over to police. Apparently, somehow, in between that, I'm not quite clear if the neighbor was the first to show the Gannon's father the video, or if law enforcement, whatever. But I showed Freedom that video, and he said, well, when's the last time anybody saw him? I said, that video. He said, that video? I said, yeah. He said, then she's responsible. That's where you gotta look. Okay, but my point is that I saw somebody say something about taking the carpet. Oh, that was my point, you guys. Sorry about that. It's just the way my brain is when I'm really tuned in. So I said to him, I said, listen, I said, don't you think it's odd? I told him about the candle theory or whatever and say it's not the candle, but I'm not going to get into what exactly it was. So I told him, I said, okay. I said, so supposedly they were going to come fix the carpet the next day. I'm like, who does that? Who gets their carpet fixed that quickly? I said, and then I saw somewhere that supposedly the stepdaughter and her were seen putting stuff into the truck late at night or whatever, carpet or something. I always go under the surmise that, let's say it's true. Like, let's get to the nitty gritty of this. So I said to him, isn't that strange? He's like, no, some people are like that. They want it done, boom, bang, bang. I said, well, doesn't the carpet people take the carpet for you? Like, why would you do that? And he's like, yeah, that's true. So I could feel and see the flick in the change in his perception of it. Okay. And that he was like, yeah, that's a pretty good point. Why would you do it yourself? You see what I mean? That makes no sense. I'm paying somebody to provide a service. That service includes removal and installation. So why are you taking that out and making more work for yourself? Okay. The other thing is if she went and put all that stuff in the truck, why was the truck in the road? You'd think if she's going to do all that she'd put it in the driveway, right? So I'm not sure if there's a reason for that or not. Seen putting shovel in garbage can, also rolled up carpet in truck. Garbage can. What would she put there? Yeah, but then, okay. Where was the garbage can? Because I saw that truck pull out. I didn't see a garbage can. Unless it's like one from her bathroom. So I didn't see that. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't... Okay, yes, except she was talking in that video about what to sell to pay for the carpet. Okay, but how does that play into what I was saying, Courtney? Because I'm not really following what you're trying to get at. Are you saying that they didn't have the money to pay for the carpet? Are you trying to allude that the couch plays a part? Just, I can see, I've got the comments on over here. That's probably not all the videos of what, Joanne? Anyway, so I think that I just get the feeling, and I'm trying to get a real good read on it. But again, I'm still going to all these different perspectives as well. Right. How would they? Well, I'm not saying that's not possible, but it's probably not as probable. Said they were going to have to sell things. No, I get all that. Okay, so you're saying that they had to, so you're taking it literally, like they really had to sell the sofa? No, I saw that video. Trust me, I pulled it up on the big screen. I just talked to Freedom again about it. I'm like, it's so convenient how you can, I think I just liked your comment. I'm just trying to expand the comment so I can read the whole thing. But I talked to Freedom about that as well. You know, like, it just so happens to black out when you walk into the other room type thing. After you drop the candle, telling them to sell the couch, fix it. Can you find what? Oh, Vicky. Her talking to Gannon after. Okay, but I didn't take that literally. I took that as a ploy to make him feel guilty about something, to make him feel like it was his fault, and to make herself feel better. That's what I felt. Not literally like, oh, we're going to sell the sofa. It's almost like this is the way it's coming through. Like, almost like she was reinforcing it for the camera. Okay? You get what I mean? Reinforcing it like, look, like why... like almost like a convincing point. Like, see how bad it was, the thing that he did, that I had to tell him that we're going to sell the couch to pay for it. That's what it feels like. All right? All right, let me see what you just said. Yes. Not candle to candle. Jennifer Lynn Dodson. It's funny because I've known you since when I first started reading. That's how we ended up becoming friends. I read for you on, I think it was Long Island Mediumship Circle or something like that. So, are you from around there, or are you picking that up? Listen, you guys, we're in 2020. You can search. You wouldn't believe the searches I do. I am all over the place. All right. I spelled names wrong to pick up on everybody else. This is YouTube. I'm on the internet. I go on Twitter. I do a search. I do so many searches on Gannon that my predictive text is, that's what I put G in. It comes up Gannon. Okay. And immediately I push the space bar and his last name pops up. All right. So use those things, but with the understanding that not everybody does it because they care, okay? Some people want to just capitalize on things like this, all right? And I got an example of that firsthand on YouTube when somebody said, you know, that the other day that they had breaking news, the stepmother was going to be arrested, and I always go with my first, like, the look on my face. I'm like, what? Like, it just, and then I said to me, self, look at your reaction. So anyway, I kind of knew it was coming. So he said, yeah, breaking news. So something is reporting on it now. Then the very last comment was, so-and-so's about to cover it. She's known for the best news on the internet or some shit. It sounded like an infomercial. I'm like, oh Lord, I just did the eye roll emoji type thing. Okay. So those are things you gotta think about. All right. I don't think he said that he was bleeding at the end of that video, unless somebody has an extended video type thing, that we don't know about, but I don't think that is the case. I feel like he's hurt. I feel like that's after the kicking type thing. And she may have even damaged his ribs, and in turn had some internal damage because of that. And, you know, no, the I'm bleeding part is not real. The rest of it's real. All right. So where was I? hold on. Okay, so keep all those things in mind while you're doing your searches and trying to pick through information, and use your spidey senses, and also use your common sense. All right, and don't invest in anything unless it feels like it absolutely fits. Okay. I think the step sister knows a lot. Okay. I think she knows. Beyond that, I don't think, and I'm not positive. I'm not saying that she knows because she's been involved, or because she's the mother told her anything. I think it's from just knowing the type of person her mother is, and the way that things are going, and the way what she's saying. All right. So there's a huge assumption that she's making, but she's right. But she does know something. I don't think she told anybody else, and I think she acted alone because I see a lot of people say things. Did she sell him? No. That's not what happened. So, well, I don't know if I want to say she's guilty of something just yet, Constance. I'm not saying she's not, but I'm not there with that. All right? I'm not. I don't know. There might be some other story the mother told her to make her think that, because it keeps, my mind keeps flashing back to the Marshalls thing. Like, I just said this to Freedom. I said, who the F goes to Marshalls to go shopping? Like, it just blows my mind. And I think they said he was missing for like 4 days at that point. Like, and he just looked at me like, whoa. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Because we have his son. I'm like, if Elijah was missing, you wouldn't be able to hold me back, okay? I'd be out there day and night doing whatever. I'd be on the internet, and I'm real crafty with it. Like, it would be done. So you wouldn't be able to stop me. So what the were you doing? Like, I don't know. It'd be like grocery store, okay. You know, okay. Unless you had someplace like, oh, whoopsies, I got to go to a funeral. I got to go this. I don't get that feeling from that, okay? It's just odd to me. So I feel like there may be something related where maybe she said, hey, you know, I don't know, say, I don't know. I'm going to use, this isn't what I think happened either, so please don't run with this. But like, say somebody was getting sexually abused or something like that, right? And you're like, hey, you know, I'm trying to hide him from the sexual abuser, so it's okay. So just don't tell anybody, okay? That's the feeling it gives me, all right? You see what I mean? The feeling it gives me. Like, if she would be like, listen, Gannon doesn't want anybody to know, but, or I don't know, you know, like, it doesn't want anybody to know, but he took off to da-da-da-da-da type thing. Okay, where's the supposed video? Because now you're saying it was a man helping her load the truck the night before. I saw something today where it said that the neighbors saw her and Harley loading the truck with something. I think. Right, but I think she's just a manipulator, period. And I've noticed in my dealings with life in general that some people just do it to do it. In other words, and I feel like she does that as well. You get what I mean? And a part of that is a survival tactic for being abused. And part of it is a manipulation tactic. And in her case, it's just festered, all right, and turned into this ugliness. Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying the police don't have it. I'm saying, okay, but that's what I mean about supposedly. If there's supposedly a video, then it's supposedly that the police have the video, right? Yeah, but the police have a video where a man is helping her. I don't pick that up. I don't pick that up, and I haven't seen any, see, but that's too much for me. I'm going to tell you why. It's just too much in that case. They'd be looking for this man. Yes? I think we would have heard more about that. So where did that rumor get started? Yeah, and then Aaliyah Teotonio, I just read something where they said it was, the neighbor said it was the stepdaughter and him and her putting stuff in the truck. Yes. And that's from watching too much damn TV too. So a lot of this stuff I feel like she's learned, and that's intuitively picking up that she's trying to drop lies and confuse everybody because it buys her time. And the longer it takes them to find him, the longer she can figure out how she can manipulate her way out of this. All right? And also, because of all the stuff she's watched about true crime and all this other shit, she also knows that people's memories also, how do you want to say it? They don't retain as much after a period of time. About his little secret. All right, wait. Hold on. Not allowed to tell. Has secret. No, she's not allowed to tell that she. His little who. It says his little who has a secret that she's not allowed to tell. You mean Gannon? You mean... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep. Yeah, there's a call from a girl whose cousin is neighbors with the Stauchs. It's also on YouTube. Oh, the little sister. Okay. I did see... Is that the same video? I know it sounds silly. Why does it sound silly? That's not silly. Do you see what I do? I talk to dead people all day and night. So silly is not... People always be like, I know you're going to think this is weird. I'm like, these people do not pay attention. But she's not allowed to tell anybody? This is the thing. It had to have been remixed. Whatever she's... In other words, the secret, you can get it out of your head that it's, I killed Gannon and he's not here anymore. Or I did something naughty to Gannon. I'm telling you right now, that kid is not going to not tell about... He's not going to have loyalty towards the stepmother before Gannon. Are you effing kidding me? No. Gannon, and I know this because of my relationship with my brother. No. I can beat you up, but nobody else is going to touch you. You get what I'm saying? Like, ever. And that's that same feeling I get because what happened with the parents and the breakup, the split, not just the split families, but split locations. Like, that's her ace boon coon. Like, no. You will not convince me about that. Sorry. Okay. So, no, this is a girl talking about what her cousin, who is a neighbor, knows. She was a close acquaintance with T. She gave T a ride to the hotel. What hotel? All right. You should be able to. I don't know. Can I post photos yet? I don't know. And now I'm on YouTube, like, and people have their own lingo, and I still don't know how to do everything. So I'm getting there. Anyway, you're saying, all right, so I can clarify, all right? Because when it goes to YouTube, they can't see the comments. So who was told to keep a secret, you're saying? I would thought it was the little sister, but you're saying that... This is a girl talking about what her cousin, who is a neighbor, knows. All right, she gave T a ride to the hotel. Did you get that from this video you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? All right, so you're talking about that 2-hour thing when they said flash forward to 2 hours and 20 minutes or whatever? We're not doing readings today. This is an update on a very current missing persons case. So, not doing readings. Yeah, that's what I thought, the little sister. But I'll look into those other videos about what they say. Weren't the neighbors told not to say anything about it? So, this is why it's so draining for me, is because I can't just go with the intuitive stuff because my logical side, my analytical side is so developed. I have to back it up. So I'll do research, like, who are these people? Are they credible? So give me a minute. I'm writing notes. So you got one video that I heard but didn't get to look extra into today of at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, the neighbors talking. And then you're saying that there's somebody else saying that now that there was a man. Yeah, mommy ramblings. I thought I heard that. Yes, I agree, Liana. Hold on, because this is important, because I've heard this too. Yes. My spirit is telling me that something is missing, and we're being distracted, and the solution is right in front of our eyes. Oh, God. I'm like the pun master, so of course my mind starts going like, we've solved this riddle. But I've heard that too, that they keep passing him by. Oh, God. All right, Liana, pipe in, or anyone else who reads as well, with whatever. It doesn't just take a village to raise a child, okay? It takes a network to protect one, or protect to all of us. Does that make sense? There's protection in that, all right? All right, so anything else about that, Liana? You're being distracted. Okay, well, maybe some just clarification on that. We're being distracted by what or who, if you can get anything about that. Yeah, they have overlooked him. I know. They keep going right by me, he says. Yeah, of course it affected with the searches, because, you know what I mean? Think about the difference between, even in 35, 40 degree weather, if there's no snow, number one, it doesn't feel as cold because there's nothing holding in the cold. It's easier to move around. So of course it did, but you posted the 220 video above. Okay, so let's just break this. So the 220 video, I thought was two neighbors or something like that, talking on speakerphone saying how they saw Harley and Letitia putting stuff in the truck. Is that what that is, Constance? Yeah, Higginson Pit. So this is the thing. Originally, and I have screenshots of that too, I honed in on one area where like a boundary that I made. And Higginson Pit was here, Sierra Pines Lane was here, Spruce Mountain thing is here. What could be the distraction? The video? Oh, why? Because she's posting it in, you might be onto something with that. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so now, because this is the way I heard it, that there's two videos. One where it says it points to the stepsister, and then another, now they're saying it's a man that's helping her, okay? I got to look into this because I didn't realize that's exactly what it was. And see what I can hear through their voice and their vibration. Are you picking up anything else, my dear? All right, so Liana, anything else that you think is important? Well, I guess it's all important at that point. All right. What about the weather, Jennifer? Yeah, but did you guys see that this coming week's we're gonna have a few nice days? But the thing is that open space to no road. Okay. I have gone over that already. Once I post the video, you guys will be able to go there and go back and review it, and then I can post. Oh, I'm sorry. Post photos. I hope he's cooking that turkey, man. I'm starving. Yes, I have Facebook Messenger, and you can also Facebook message me on my business page. Wait a minute. Harley could sound like a man's name. That's true. Crazy rage, calculated rage. Yep. So that was the 23-year-old. Because, you know, I had to spread out my parenthood for eons. So, shit. Got this contraption going. Sorry. So, Liana. How is something, it sounds like one of those friggin' riddles. Do you ever see those riddles? They're like, what is blah, 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 blah type thing. All right. Send something to me, Tana. How is something missing and right in front of our eyes at the same time? I don't know. I do it all the time. Shoot, sometimes I walk around with the phone in my hand and I'm like, oh shit. Or the glasses on the top of my head type thing. But I feel like it's, and you know what, this is what's popping in right now is Heather said the same thing when I was walking her through tuning into this. And but mind you, she's going on message. She's like, she just pulled over and just basically like pulled over and threw him out. So that's the way it's feeling. So I'm connecting that feeling. So it makes me feel like if there was like, I don't know, it feels like a box of some kind or something like that. Or like say a well or something that people went by all the time. That type of thing. You get what I mean? Like as if somebody's like, and the other way it's coming through too is like if it was something so obvious they wouldn't look there. If that makes sense. You know? Like, oh, why would we look for him at the crematorium if he's dead already? Do you get like that type of feeling? Let me think of anything else because I got to end this. I can hear him upstairs. He's probably like, oh. All right, Tana, I'll look into it after. I keep hearing the 25th, and it's funny because I'm paying attention to the patterns, don't forget, because I'm, sharpening my mental tools and perfecting my craft this way. Originally, I said something about, I kept hearing the number 12. I still go for a time frame. Like, I almost want to be like, it's funny because, I can be bossy boots. I want to call, like, the FBI and be, listen, this is the timeline. And whatever she did, it was at 12 o'clock. Figure it out. But I'm, like, dead right at noontime type thing. Yeah, but maybe the ditch thing, but more so like if somebody pulled off a dirt road and I was paying attention as I was driving today. I'm like, damn, I'm like, you don't realize how much of an area to hide something there is until you're driving by woods, because we live in woods type thing. So there's a lot to be done, if that makes sense. But like if she went down a dirt road and just pulled over to the side of a dirt road and was like, oh, look, there's a bunch of trees right there. I'm just going to throw it in there. But the problem becomes is that, yeah, like a shallow grave, but maybe not even. This is what it feels like, and what I'm seeing is like, you know how you have to move the tree to put the presents under it at Christmas time? That's what it feels like. Like if I had to push it like up like this and like that. But the issue is that it's off this dirt road. Even the people that the people that live there use, or it's just very sparsely used type thing. That's the first thing. So there's not a lot of interaction. The second thing becomes, and then it snows. All right. And Rhonda Adams, I've been going back and forth with that. But yeah, I think so. Because what's the other option? All right. I guess along the way she could have stopped, but why would she risk that? Like, stop. In other words, let's play with a scenario. We know Gannon got in the truck and left about 10:13, I think it was. Was it 10:13? 10:12? Okay. So he leaves. They go to Petco. Say she decides like, oh, I got to get rid of him now. Why is she going to drive with a dead body in her car? Okay? Makes no sense. Because we get, like I said, common sense plays a part. All right? And Liana, that's why this other location stands out to me. So again, and if you've, I don't know how much reading you've done, but evil vibes, yeah. But I don't know how much reading you've done, but I can feel. So there's a couple things to get through. Her thoughts, her plans, what she planned on doing, okay, prior to that, and while it was going on, and then the actual factual of what actually took place. And I was saying this to somebody yesterday, that sometimes because of the nature of the incident and the gravity of the crime, it all sticks together. In other words, the act itself maybe weighs a little bit more energetically, but all that kind of like huddles together and becomes part of like the case as an intuitive. No, it wasn't snowing that day, but the thing is it's very remote. So now you've got, like, let's say there's one person that drives down there, I don't know, sometimes once a day type thing. You get, so, and it's not hidden, but it's not something that you can see right there. Then the chances of somebody finding him aren't that great. And then now they're looking for him, but there's been snow. All right. Okay, hold on, guys. I wonder where the drainage fit his. All right, hold on. I'm working on that, MCL. I can see where you're going with that. Honed in on this. Important about it. Ashley, what place was it? It's not the heart place, is it? With the rocks? Okay, Leanna, that's cool. And we can all work together, hopefully, and get this. Yeah, but so what if she said it? Like, she's... No, not the heart one, because that did prompt me for something else. Well, post it up, Ashley. So I will also, wait. Let me write your name down so I can send. Liana, did you see the areas that I posted? And forgive me, you guys, because certain things, especially like the YouTube thing, is brand new to me. So I don't freaking know how to post the photos to it. And I'm like that person, like, I don't know, sometimes the extraness about it, I'm like, I don't feel like doing it. But Liana, there's two areas to it. I did post, excuse me, there's a album, I think it says miscellaneous, so that I could post the link to the YouTube until I figure it out or have enough energy to do that. Oh wait, she said she took a selfie of her and Gannon and sent it to her husband. Oh, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, but she said in the driveway, didn't she? So that was her point. Her point was to tie in the fact that her and Gannon were together, and he went home with her. So I think that was more to the point. So it makes no sense that it was right before she killed him, unless, you know, these are other thoughts I've had. So I'm going to put it out here now. I've also had thoughts of this, of her. I can't get over why she would go back to Petco twice, because I don't think she left her phone there. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just saying I don't know. All right? But that's not the feeling I really get. So and it could be that. But so why do that? Do you get what I'm saying? Why would you do that? Hold on. Because I was going somewhere with this. Hold on. All right, so I'm pretty sure that was to tie her to him coming home. They keep going back to the house for some reason. Oh, but that's where I was going with this. So I said to myself, self, you know, I wouldn't put it past her to drive all the way to Petco. So she was on camera all the way back somewhere else, go all the way back to Petco and all the way home. Okay? I wouldn't put it past her. Or to get the idea and then drive back. In other words, let's say she went to Petco, and I think I feel like there's other places she went too. So I feel like I feel like they have a good timeline of it. And I also think that part of the reason they're not looking so much for Gannon is because they already know that the poor kid is not alive. And waste the manpower and resources searching for his body when we could be using that to crack this bitch open so that she tells us where he is, and 2 birds, 1 stone. Boom. Okay? We have a confession. Gannon goes home. His mother and his father are in the know. So she's, an alibi for her timeline, but see, they think she went to this North Nevada Petco, and then carried it out further. And I don't, again, with the lack of information, but I still feel like that's a phone ping, so I guess it doesn't fit with mine stuff. But there's a lot of different scenarios that could have happened. So I suppose you've got to open up your mind and parameters to fit those things in, and then develop some sort of area boundary with, different types of scenarios. So this is probably what they're doing. I hope they, the law enforcement does watch it one day and they're like, oh shit, because this is what it feels like to me. I feel like they're mapping it out. And within this is some sort of other boundary. In other words, if she did what I said, say she decided she's going to go to Petco, she was all happy, like, oh, let's go to Petco, and say she didn't hurt him, and that's not what her intention was, and everything else was true before that. He was sick, but to hell with it, he's going to come with her, whatever. All right, and something happens while they're out there, right? She's going to get rid of it wherever they're at, all right? Say they were already, like, that wasn't her plan. Say it wasn't her plan. So she went to the Petco, I don't know, she stopped a couple, and they're on their way home, and I don't know, something happens, so she kills him, right? She could, in other words, the time frame doesn't necessarily bring her to the outermost point that she could go, all right? And then there's other scenarios and other, how do you say it? Sorry guys. Combinations of things that she could do in that point in time. You get what I mean? Oh, to me was how she's made. All right, the injury to the foot. I'm glad you picked that up, because these are key points, logically speaking, that I want to get out. Number 1, she said that he sat on top of the car. I call my SUV sometimes a car, sometimes I call it a truck, sometimes I call it an SUV. But I will never call my boyfriend's truck a car. Okay? I'm not saying that it's not impossible, but it's highly improbable. Okay? Because it's not. It's a truck. All right? That's the first thing. The second thing. This, she says, he was helping to unload Saturday night. I don't know if she used the word night, but I feel like she did. But again, with what I do, sometimes I'm like, I did say that, didn't I? And people are like, no. I'm like, yeah, I did. And they're like, no. Or, didn't I talk to you before? I'm like, Anyway, so she said it was at night, okay? Now, 50 degrees is warm, 40 degrees is not so warm, but let's say it didn't get over 50, all right? But it was still close to the nighttime. Why does he have no shoes on? Okay, that's the first thing, because these are assumptions that I'm going to make because of the scenarios. Wait a minute. Why does he have no shoes on and is walking around a garage with no shoes on and there's sharp tools and all different kinds of things? Doesn't make sense, right? Okay. So that's the first thing, because that's one scenario. Second scenario, he does have shoes on. So there's got to be damage to the shoe. Why? Because she would be saying he cut his ankle and not his foot. So that doesn't make sense to me, okay? And that's what I make of that whole cutting himself type thing. Not to mention, it's freaking cold. See, there's so many different things. It depends on what time it was. You know, because somebody might be like, oh, it was 50 degrees, so I did it in the garage so it wouldn't get all over the place, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I could see that. However, why would you keep him outside? Why don't you go inside? It's freaking cold. It makes sense if he's trying to get away from her. That's what I said about when and that's why it's good to network. When Heather said that, I'm like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Because I feel like the garage, the door to the garage, I feel like and in the video you could kind of see, and I was so hoping that I could get more of it, but there's a living room, then there's a kitchen. I feel like there's a door off to the garage, right? Then you walk through the garage, and is there a back door at the garage? And if you go out the back door, that's the backyard, and then the gate is over there. Because that's what it feels like to me. Oh, and if he was trying to hop over. Okay. All right, so that does make sense in that case. But again, there's other variables that need to weigh in. He did run, but I'm unsure if he ran there. I feel nervous too, so I feel like he knew something was not right when he got there, and he wasn't really sure. Because she was acting odd too. I still see a black rope, a black rope, a black rope, a black rope, or a dark colored rope, black rope, black rope. Clipped him on the back of the head. Like, what do you mean clipped? Hit him? Well, I don't know what that's. You're from the UK, so translate. Wait a minute, she did what? I mean, sales, you said she did, but I don't know what you're referring to. I feel like that was the initial thing. I feel like this is, and I'm going to get up and show you because, you know, and this is the good thing about this. This is the thing. I feel like I see her coming towards him like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like this, like that, all right? Just like that. And she comes and, yep, that makes sense. All right, because my logical mind's jumping in. So he's like going like this, and she comes at him. She's right hand dominant, and she's like, bow, on this side of the head, okay? No, but it was more than that. She does weird shit, and she's kind of a sick bitch too. She's just not how anybody could. I still see that's the block and the barriers to me getting a better reading too is that I just can't. I don't know anything that would say to me, well, I guess you know what. It's death or nothing because that's the only thing the only way we can go now. No, kicking she kicked him because that was where I was going next. He does this, so I see him and he's like this and she did this and then I see it, bow, and he's huddled over like this. I'm telling you, he kicked her. I would if there's not footprints on him, I'd be highly surprised. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? She's like, what? And I'm turning around because this is her coming. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I hear her saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's kicking him. Wait, let me see him. 2 times? Wait a minute. So she hits him and then she kicks him twice. And I feel like she may have kicked him one more time too. Like, but I can hear the rhythm of it. So it's like boom, boom, boom. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then like, you kidding me or something? Like, that type of thing. That's right. Yeah, he's down because he sees her coming. And you know what that tells me? That tells me that she's done this shit before. Because he sees her coming and he's like this all of a sudden. All right? Just like that. Does she really think she would get away with it? Of course she fucking thinks she's gonna get away with it. I feel like at some point he possibly ended up crouching down. Hold on. I don't think he was on his knees and that's how she got the behind. I think that he went to fetal position. She comes at him like this. Boom. All right? Oh, that's so my brother, so you know this is the real shit. Because when I first tuned into it, I asked my brother, I'm like, Melvin, where's Gannon? He's like, right here with me. So, and he says that, boom. So she comes at him and she's like, as she's coming, he's going to go like this. Boom, to this side. And then she kicks him. Boop, boop. Oh. So when she kicks him, she pushes him. So think about it. Listen, if your body's this way and you're in the fetal position and somebody comes and blasts you like that and then kicks you twice, boom, boom, you're going to turn this way. You get what I'm saying? From the force of the kick. And then it's right to the, and then right in the ass on the third one. She told him she was taking him to the doctor and to lunch. Does that make sense, you guys? That's what I just heard. And to lunch. He's telling me that she was being way too nice in the morning. So that's the odd behavior. Isn't that fucked up? Like, oh, she was being too nice to me. So what, like, something must be wrong. Yeah, just like that. Oh my God, I can see the whole thing now. All right, this is the story that I feel like he got out of the truck, okay? So I feel like he gets out of the truck. She's telling him, but in other words, he's like, where are we? And she's like, oh, she's like, I found something really cool. I wanted to show you. I want you to come here and look at it. You get what I mean? Come on, let's go. Come look at it. Come on, get out. And something like if she forgot something. So this is the thing. I think she said, come on, let's get out. It'll be cool. Like I found something. And this isn't exact words, but I'm translating from the feeling I'm getting. So he gets out first. He's standing next to the truck. And she gets out. And she's like, it's so weird because he's like, what is it? And I feel like she's like, it's a surprise. Which is, however it is, it just doesn't feel like her normal behavior. Because I feel like Gannon's like, this doesn't make sense. Like, it's not my birthday and she's not even that nice then. It's not Christmas. Like, what's going on here? So, did she take rope from that house? Or is there rope in his truck? Yeah, he did. But he did, I don't think he, it doesn't, I don't get the feeling that I don't get the feeling that he, in other words, if Gannon had to imagine, if when he was alive, you asked him like if your stepmother were to kill you, how would it happen? It wouldn't be like that. It would be because she beat his ass or threw, like, that type of thing. Yeah, exactly. That's why I couldn't believe it. I was like, this kid, man. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, if the carpet thing is poop or something too. Now a spleen injury and a liver injury or any of that type of thing can really be detrimental on the effect of a child. So I don't know, but since I've been picking up on this case, I've definitely had a lot of headaches. I always feel that thing over there, but I've also had a lot of belly like digestive feeling type of problems. Yeah, that leash is funny you say that. And I haven't told Heather yet. I don't know if she's still up in here because she picked up on something like a horse bridle type thing or something. And she said the color, but a leather type thing. And the very first thing, but I don't like to lead, you know what I mean, the intuitive or anything like that. And the very first thing that popped in my head was a dog leash. All right? Was there abuse before by her? Why was the dad with her? Because he made a shitty decision, and that's pretty much it. Oh my God, my stomach, seriously. And the stomach issues I've had is insane. I have it right, well, no, it's just piping in now, but stool with blood. Yeah, I thought about that too, maybe throw up with blood. The internal damage done to the abuse. Right. but still am not, and like I said, I don't know if it's my own personal filter that I don't want to believe that, like, I try to put myself, like, and it's difficult, like, what would almost beyond the shadow of a doubt make me say, nope, this is it. This is the only way it can go. It doesn't make sense, and it's very difficult for me to do that. So, yeah, the very first thing I picked up was right here. Yeah, so, I think she thought about pushing him off a cliff. That's what I think. However, I feel like it would be too messy or too something like that. And not because, in other words, if a person with a heart, I don't know, if somebody said, I don't know, kill this guy or your kid dies or something, like, how many of us are going to be like, no? Do you get, and I'm not saying there's not other ways around it, so please don't do the whole comment thing. I'm saying, let's do theorize it, okay? You know, you'd say to yourself, oh, shit, well, I have to do this because this is the way it's got to go. But they say, but you can do it any which way you want. Most likely, you know what? You're like, well, can I use it? Like, you're going to do something that's not going to hurt or be more harmful. Does that make sense? I don't feel like it was because of that. I think it was for her, how do you say it? For purposes of, I feel like it was to benefit her. Right. Right. Now, Heather and I have gone back and forth over the last couple of days with scenarios and things. And I said, well, because I did grapple with the fact that I'm like, and she thought, you know, that he died of hypothermia, which I'm not, I am not thoroughly convinced that that's not true either. And that I'm not just saying to myself, who the hell would leave a child to die out there? Like, that's so, like, all these inhumane things, okay? So she thought that that was the case. But I said to her, I said, well, okay, but now he risks him getting away, somebody hearing him, being found alive, and now it doesn't matter what she does, like, she's definitely a monster type thing. And not that she's not, but I'm saying in her mind type thing. So I feel like I don't feel like it's likely that she would do that unless his internal injuries were so bad. But even with that, I said to Heather, I'm like, okay, but what if somebody hears him and he gets to the hospital and boom, all right? But shut him up from what? Wait, something about the floor and the head, right? Yep, she did. Yeah, a part of me does too. But don't forget how this works. I think that she may have convinced herself of that as well to justify it. And those are things we're picking up on. Okay, so these are things I've been trying to cut through and to, like I said, get down to the nitty gritty, the heart of the issue. Like, what are the bare bones of this? That's how we're going to find him, that bare bone mentality. All right? Yeah, she did. I feel like she choked him. Because I have initially when I tuned in, I felt a breathing issue. But again, I suppose with hypothermia, and I haven't really researched enough of that, maybe that would cause that too. But there's other things that can cause that as well. Drugs for one thing, but I don't get the drug feeling. And I read for some of you guys before, I get a woozy, like a weird, like foggy brain. Exactly. So a ploy to get back in good graces with her husband. How, though, Tina? No, he was not dead when... Wait a minute. So you're saying that he... Wait. Editha, you're saying basically that she did do all that, but then she dumped the body and she drove off and he was still alive? Oh, sorry, Alex. Whoopsies. I'll remember that. And that's funny because I talked about Alex before, the other psychic medium, that he popped in, and you'd have to go back in the video. But anyway, it's funny. No, I know that, but what do you think she did in order to get back in the good graces with the husband? Yeah, but Josephine, don't get into why or why not she would do something, because I'm telling you, that's because you would or would not. And refer back to the beginning of the video and about how energy and things work and why it's so difficult sometimes to cut through those things. Let's see. All right. Yes, you feel what? I'd have to go back and watch it. Sometimes this thing. All right. So I keep seeing with the black rope. And it's so like crime, it's so Lifetime channel type shit, like the black gloves and the black rope thing. Like he was injured but not dead. Okay, but I don't feel like it was like from the injury at home. I don't think she would risk that. So I feel like that there was some other incident out there where she tried to do that. So if he was still alive when she left him, 23 and driving. I think it was a plot to get him home because she felt like he didn't appreciate her, so let him and play the hero. No, she did not transport it. Exactly. All right. Play the hero because you think he's still alive so she can go find him. Yeah, you know why I was irritating her? Because it wasn't like when my daughter drives me insane for the 17th friggin' fruit snack in the day, and she's like, eh. It's because he needed to go to the hospital, and she knew that, so it was just pinging at her about how she was going to get found out over and over and over again, okay? In other words, this was not a pass and go type injury. So whatever it was, which tells me that there's numerous different things, whether it's a broken rib, anything like that, okay? And see, before she was manipulating the father to think that Gannon was doing these bad things, this, that, or the other. He's had enough of her shit. So when Gannon goes and tells him something and now the kid's injured, then think about the little girl too, and when she's like, yep, that's what happened. I told you before it happened. Like, you should listen to me before. No coming back from that, because he makes his kids a priority. He makes his kids a priority type thing, you know? She made sure she got herself seen. Yeah, but Editha, how does that play about with the argument? Because this is the thing. When she went to Petco and did all these other things, don't forget that she didn't know about the doorbell cam yet. Because obviously, or else she wouldn't have backed herself in the corner. Because this is what she does, supposedly. She gets home and does whatever she does, but I think, and this is hearsay at this point, she texts the friend Jimmy from Gannon's phone, and then she also texts the husband to ask if he could go somewhere or something like that. Okay? So she doesn't necessarily need an alibi twice. You see what I mean? Because she's under the idea, the impression that she's going to call him in, you know, missing, unless she wasn't completely positive at that point. But that doesn't make sense to me. All right. Oh, you think she passed him off? I'm not saying it's impossible, but it feels highly improbable. I do feel like the Aries have it off her watch. I get that feeling. You know what? I think about it. Think about overconfidence and when she's... And you went through all... You think you're hot shit. You think you're slick. So you go to Petco and you do whatever. And let's say she left her phone there or she put it somewhere else. Let's say. Because I feel like if she did, it's because she left her phone... Oh, that makes sense. So if she left it outside somewhere, it would justify the 2 Petco trips. Get what I mean? In other words, if there's a camera somewhere outside and she put her phone there and the camera picks it up, but she doesn't have an excuse for being around there the second time either. Anyway, but this is the way it pictures to me. Like, think she was all hot shit and she was slick. Let's theorize that she left the phone at Petco or left it somewhere, right? And she's like, they think they know. So she thinks that she's got it all down pat, right? Which tells me a lot about where she was going afterwards. And all of a sudden, she's on her way to do some shit. She gets to that corner, see everything in her. It starts ringing. She's like, oh, fuck. Can you imagine? All kinds of panic sets in. Think about it. all kinds of panic set in, and you might even pull over to the side of the road because now your heart's racing. You don't know what the hell to do. So this, you could have opened the door to be like, fuck, what am I gonna do with this phone? Shit, or this iPhone. I'm gonna leave it right here. But on the way out, because now you're all nerved up, you drop something because they open the door to the truck on that video, and something falls out the back seat. You get what I mean? But then she realized she had the watch on, and that's why she brought up that she took a second. All right, wait. I think I missed something. She would have had to have planned for those? What do you mean, Courtney? All right, let me take it bit by bit. Don't forget that I'm when I see you guys' comments, I've already talked and answered, so sometimes it's hard. So wait a minute. So everyone in our neighborhood has those cameras. She would have had to have planned for those. Well, obviously she didn't, because we got Roderick Drayton, or Drayton Roderick. I don't know why I say his name backwards. Maybe because it's one of those names that could be first and last. And he's got her on video, so she didn't plan too well, now did she? No. So hold on. Wait, let me do two pieces here. All right, so she realized she had the watch on, and that's why she brought... All right, Alex, how does her bringing up... How does her bringing up the second hike in a day have anything to do with that watch? No, I didn't allude to physical struggle of some sort as a watch. I didn't mean the watch fell off. I don't know where you got that, Edith. That could be something separate, but I'm not exactly sure how you got there. All right, wait a minute. Hold on, but if you really look at the footage, you should eventually move the vehicle and parks in reverse instead. Oh, right. Yep. So no, I didn't mean that the watch fell off. I can't get this freaking thing to click. I hate that. Come on. All right, there we go. Maybe finding that she was in a whole different area later on the day she saw you. No. Wait a minute. Alex, so you're on 2 different days here. So the Garden of the Gods thing was Sunday the 26th, supposedly. I'm just going to say supposedly for everything with this hookabum. Like my father. My father and my brother have the same name. I was going to say like this hookabum does. So, she took the Garden of the Gods, and that other hike supposedly took place on Sunday. So Monday is the last time Gannon was seen, supposedly. Supposedly the last time Gannon was seen, and it was at 10 and change in the morning on the doorbell cam from the next door neighbor. No, I think that about the hike thingy, I think that second hike has something to do with the stepdaughter. The stepsister. Sorry, her daughter that's the stepsister. That's what I think. All right. And also, a lot of this is designed to keep you guys running around in circles type thing. Because it's buying her time. And she's just like that anyway. All right. It makes her, I don't know, it's a weird feeling for me, but it makes her feel like she's the master of it. Does that make sense? Like, look what I can make them do. Look at what I can't make them do. Like, that type of thing. All right. Does a trail have a sign with a bear on it on no road? Bear on it, no road. You know, I buy these notebooks and then I wonder why they go so fast. Look, I literally do this. 1, 2, the whole book's like that. But if you guys have ever had a reading, you see me write on the paper and I let you guys take them with me, but somehow it all fits together. So after this, I'm going to go back and see how, while I wasn't paying attention, I put it together. So a bear, sign with a bear on no road. I'll look, but I don't know. But it makes me feel like if it was, it'd be like a watch out for the bears, like, or don't feed the bears, or something like that. Somebody did say something about Jellystone Park. All right, you guys. What time is it? Oh my God, it's going to go crazy. I said 15 minutes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, I've been seeing a white sign with a brown bear on it. Ooh, my hairs are standing up. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, that helps out a bit. So we're seeing a sign with a bear on it, or a drawing with a bear on it, or carving. Well, again, somebody said could it be Yogi the bear because of the Jellystone thing, but it's interesting you said earlier, Lishimia. Doesn't feel him, as my friend doesn't feel. God, I'm not doing this again. I'm going to get a webcam. I keep putting it off because I feel like I'm paying too much at Walmart. And my friend doesn't feel him. Says something about his throat, either poisoned him or strangled him. She didn't actually see Gannon what day? Sunday or Monday? Sunday or Monday? Hold on. Josephine. No, stepmom's daughter. Okay, so what day did she not see him on that she said she did? Sunday? Okay, see, I think it was Sunday she attested to. I didn't hear anything about Monday. But again, it depends on what the timeline is. In other words, I don't know what the stepdaughter was doing Monday morning. All right? No, he's not poisoned. No. I don't know if he should... The only other possibility, because I keep hearing sedative, 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 sedative. And again, these may be things that are going through her mind, but if she had like Xanax and gave him one so that he wouldn't like, you know... Okay. I don't think Harley saw Gannon on Monday when she got home from work. Well, she wouldn't unless she was working way early in the morning because he took off at 10 something and didn't come home with the stepmother. Oh, okay. Is that why? Yeah, and I'm not convinced that you can see that he's already injured because, again, my boyfriend has the greatest eyes. He's a mason, and he's a master mason at that. So that's why I put the videos on there because I'm like, I want you to walk me through this because of all that pixelation and the stuff. And he says that he doesn't think, he's like, no, whoever that was, opened the door, got in himself, and shut the door himself. So it basically, it could be interpreted as I don't feel so good, and I don't feel like going with you right now. Like, really? I don't want to do this. What's a natural poison? What's a natural poison? The septic tank? Like if she stuck him in a septic tank? Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I didn't see that, Constance, but that's an interesting. The bath salts... No. Did you guys read that right? Because she said bath bomb. And the only reason I remember is because she spelled balm like lip balm. B-A-L-M. Okay, going septic, but how? How does that happen, though? Sepsis sets in when you have an infection of some kind. Wait, Jennifer's saying no. What are you saying no to? Just so I can keep... Don't forget that YouTube is going to... I'm going to put this on there, and some people are like, why do you look so distracted? And I just assume that everybody already knows what I'm doing, so... Oh, you... Wait a minute. I get what you're saying. Wait, sepsis, septic. All right, septic isn't... So you're saying... Yes, she did say that and was very scared to say that. Yeah, okay. His bowels could make him septic. Oh, that's true. Blood poisoning, but that would be because of something else. I don't know. I don't see that right now. Yeah, but she wouldn't know that. She's not going to look at him and be like, oh boy, I think the poop's backed up so much that it's septic now. I didn't take good care of him. Oh, off to the, the chopping block you go. It doesn't make sense to me. But he totally get out. Yeah, I don't get... The scared feeling from Harley was, to me, was more like... and again, I feel like she knows something, and it could be beyond this, but you know your parents. Even my mother will say stuff to me sometimes, and I'll tell her the truth about herself, and she still denies it. Like, I've been around the way. I know how you are. That type of feeling. And she also knows that trying to tell her mother this way, or this way, that way, or another way, or to ask questions is not a wise investment of her time. So the feeling I get is that she's scared because she's like, oh my God, this is a huge deal. Like, this isn't just like, oh, I'm speeding up such and such highway, or I got in an accident and I took off. No, it's not the same. This is totally different. So I get the feeling that she's scared because she knows the mother did something, but not because she definitely knows. That's the way it feels. So you're saying that he was left there like that? See, again, my theory, and again, I don't think that it's because she's not a monster. I think it's self-gratifying for her, and it benefits her. If she leaves him there, and by chance somebody finds him, or say it's not sepsis, say, she thought it was something different, and, he poops outside and gets up and leaves, he's going to tell everybody about what's going on. Something ruptured and caused an infection overnight. Sepsis will lead to blood poisoning. Yes, I know that. Okay, well, I don't think it caused the infection so much, but that doesn't mean it's not true. So I think that there was injury done when she kicked him, but... Right. All right, guys. He's going to be like, oh, I can hear it already. He's like, I thought you were going to make all the fixings for it. I didn't know it was this late. And this is how I get. My house is a mess. I hate the fact that I'm real touchy about stuff. It's awful. But I said to him yesterday, I'm like, I can't wait to, he's like, please find this child so that what is she doing? That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, but Alex, I don't disagree with that. But my point is, okay, say that's true, right? He walked to the truck, right? Okay. So I don't think it's highly likely, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not highly probable that he was in that condition walking to the truck, and then all of a sudden, not even 2 hours later, because I'm thinking it's about 12 o'clock, he's on his deathbed. You get what I mean? So I'm not saying that the injuries didn't get worse. I'm saying that I don't think that it was worse. It was bad enough to confident that nobody would find him, or that she wouldn't become found out. Okay? No, I can see it happening. He's standing up. So hold on. I don't think that he was alive when she left, but based on what I'm watching right now, but could be. It could be. And I'm pretty sure that I said white comforter before because it was snowing. It's never come through like that. I actually saw, because with different abilities, different things happen. I kind of have all the tools, and I just pull out whatever I need to do what I have to do. Like a carpenter, kinda. You get what I'm saying? So, that makes so much sense. Because when I first looked into it, it had already snowed. All right. I still feel tightly in something, but then again, now that I think about, now that I'm marrying, like I said, the things that I know, snow on top of something, like, in other words, I feel like she covered him with something. So let's say she covered him with a blanket or a towel or not tarp. What the hell was the thing that Heather and I were talking about? I'm like, that makes sense being in the husband's car. There was something. But anyway, and does that, and then something's on top of him. It feels like he's in something, all right? But he very, at the beginning, he may very well be in something too. She did take him out there and killed him because he couldn't get away. Because she couldn't get away with what she did. Exactly. That is And then, and I keep wanting to point this out, because Heather said that this happened, that the husband called her shortly after. Okay? Snow is heavy, exactly. All right, guys. And the kids have been so good that I'm scared to get off the live because I feel like it's like a slingshot of they're going to be bad. You get what I mean? Like, I've used up all my good points in this point in time, so that's what it feels like. I hope not. I want to have a good night tonight. So the last thing I want to say is that I keep getting the number 25, and I talked about numbers before, but again, I'm trying to cut through a lot of things. The last time, I think it was, I kept being drawn to Valentine's Day, but there was a lot of activity with law enforcement that day in the searches, okay? So I keep hearing the number 25. We're not doing any readings, you guys. Can we keep up with you? What do you mean? You mean like on the page, or you mean actual physically stuff? So I keep hearing, now I'm hearing the number, I still hear the number 12, and it drives me crazy because, of course, this is the thing. When I do readings, private readings, I'll give a number and I'll say, you know, days, weeks, months. So I'm like, well, we are 12 hours went by, 12 days went by, the 12th day he was missing went by. Do not tell me 12 weeks because I swear to God, I'll be in Colorado next week. Like, you know, with a bulldozer. Like, this is going down. So I keep hearing the number 25. Jane, the baby, and when did she say this? Was it yesterday? Whatever day I posted it in the group. I have to look on it. Yes, on page. What's the page info? You're looking. It should say it at the top. You are on my page, so click on it if you want to make sure you can keep up with the lives and stuff. Just like my page or follow my page. I'm not sure if it notifies you if you just follow it. I do it when it feels right. I do a lot of things, and you guys notice this, when it feels right. I try to be a little bit, how do you say it? I try to not be so free-spirited sometimes and try to schedule, but I can't explain it. Sometimes I feel so compelled. The other day, I didn't even brush my teeth, threw my hair in a bun. I had my jacket on at my parents'. I'm like, boop, boop, got to get on there, okay? That's because he's behind me. That's why the baby, and I just posted this on my business page about the baby because I said to Freedom this morning, I'm like, this kid has been laughing at me. I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. I said, I think she's staring at whoever's behind me. So that just tells me who's been with me. He's so sweet too. He said, thank you so much. I freaking love the kid. I really, really, really love the kid. 12 miles, that could be it too. I'm writing that down. That's a good one. Yeah. I just haven't figured out the map enough without having to, you know, get another degree. Because I told you spatial things. The number 12, Jane said in the car when all that stuff was going on, I think it was yesterday. Wait, what's today? So it wasn't yesterday, it was Friday. So, right? What's today? Sunday? What day was she in the car with me and we were talking about this? I had to drive to my parents. So Thursday. I have to look, but any which way, it was like Thursday, Fridays, but I'm going to look to be exact. She told me 2. I said, well, do you know how long it's going to be before he's found? She said 2. I said 2, and she said 10. And I said, well, which is it? She said 2, 10. So I'm like, okay, that's what you do with a 3-year-old. I just get what I get, and I'm happy. I'm like, woo woo. Before she starts to like being silly and talking about poop and LOLs. But she said 2, and then she said 10. Heather keeps getting the 28th as well as a target date. Again, I'm constantly looking to perfect my craft. So when I said the 14th and all that activity happened, yes, it's a spike on the graph, so to speak, but it's also a huge letdown because I just want... the empath and the heart and every other, you know, human that's in here wants it to be yesterday. Like, this shouldn't even have happened type thing. Shouldn't even happen. So, again, I can't really answer that question. Hopefully I don't have to do another update except to fill in the blanks for whatever can't be surmised from the story at hand after this comes out. Okay? Yeah, that's all for now, because there's other stuff that I was going to address, but I think it'll happen again. Look for a sign with a bear in it, and number 12. 2 and 10 makes 12. Thanks. They're going to find him. I know they are. There's no way. There is absolutely no way that he won't be found. That's why I just don't understand how the step monster can't figure out that her days are numbered. Take the plea, okay? If they give you a plea deal and you have any 1 ounce of brain in you, take it. Because we don't give a shit what happens. Because nothing you can, will, do, say, bring to the table at this point is ever going to bring Gannon back. And if you can't do that, I'm telling you right now, it's over. Game over. All right? Especially if I'm involved. I'll hunt you to the end of time. And the little bit of Native American stuff that you're throwing out there, that doesn't faze me. Not even a smidgen. Not even a smidge. All right, guys. I'm going to go see what condition my boyfriend's in after I told him 15 minutes, and it's been way longer. All right, thanks, guys. The other thing, too, I want to tell you is that I think that there's, when you guys get all tangled up in some of the bullshit, it actually prevents this from happening faster, if that makes sense, okay? So I'm not saying don't do your due diligence. However, try to refrain from the nonsensical bullshit, all right? And stuff that just doesn't make goddamn plain sense. Like certain things, you know, that just would not make sense, okay? You like the whole oh, she sold him to a sex slave ring. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's highly improbable, all right? It just is. There's just too many different variables. First of all, does she frequent sex rings? You know what I mean? Is she known to have underground, pedophile, that type of thing? Like, no. So, okay, well then she's gonna have to figure it out and find out. Well, those things aren't on the bulletin board at your local grocery store generally. So she'd have to look into those things so it would be traceable. Do you get what I'm saying? All right. All right, guys. I know she was. I know what she was doing. And then the news put it out there, and all of a sudden she's, firing back at Landon like it's her fault. Like, really? It's not. What does that have to do with you and your dumb shit? Nothing. And by the way, Landon looked hot as hell in those photos, and they were not distasteless at all. I'll tell you right now, the sugar daddy thing, weight, if it had weight, it'd definitely be about two tons heavier than those photos, at least. All right? I did photos like that when I turned 30 because I wanted to make sure that when I was 80, I had something to look back at and say, oh, shit, look at that tight skin. All right? And I had no shirt on, and I was standing from the back. Like, that is not, wow. It's like coming to a gunfight with a flaccid water gun. Like, what are you going to do with that? I have an Uzi type thing. All right, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you when you see you.